Hi, this is Heather with Affinity for Yarn, and today I want to show you the iris stitch. You'll see the iris stitch here on a blanket I just recently finished. It's really easy pattern. Once you get the hang of it, it's a 1-row repeat. So super excited to show this to you today. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, to begin, you're going to want to do a foundation chain. For this stitch, you want the foundation chain to be in a multiple of 4, and then you're going to add 1 stitch plus another 2 stitches, so add an additional 3 stitches total to the multiple of 4. So in this example here, I have 19 stitches done. I did the multiple of 4 is 16, and then I added 1 stitch, which will be 17, and then 2 more stitches for the foundation chain, so that is 19. So 19 stitches done. Okay, so what you're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and we're going to skip the first 4 chains. So skip 1, skip 2, skip 3, and skip 4. And then in the 5th chain, we're going to do 2 double crochets, a chain 1, and another 2 double crochets. So we're going to yarn over. We're going to insert our hook into that 5th chain from the hook here. Yarn over and pull up a loop. So you have 3 on the hook right now. Yarn over and pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through the other 2. So that's 1 double crochet. Now we're going to do 1 more double crochet here. So yarn over and insert your hook and pull up a loop. And you got 3, so yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through the other 2. Okay, so that's the first 2 double crochets. Now we're going to go ahead and chain 1. Okay, and now we're going to do another 2 double crochets in that same stitch. So let's go ahead and yarn over and insert your hook, and then yarn over and pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through the other 2, and now we're going to do 1 more double crochet. So in total, in this 5th stitch from the hook, we're going to do 4 double crochets. So just like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to tell you, sometimes it pulls the next stitch next to that, the stitch you just worked in tight. So make sure when you're counting out that you make sure to catch that one, because I have missed it and been off on stitches at the end of the row. So I always make sure if it gets pulled tight that I make sure I count for it. Okay, so that's the first one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to skip 3 chains. So we're going to skip this one right here next to the loop we just worked in. We're going to skip 2, and we're going to skip 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then in this 4th chain here, we're going to do the same sequence we just did. 2 double crochets, 1 chain, and then 2 more double crochets. So let's go ahead and do that. So here's 1 double crochet. Okay, now we're going to do another double crochet. Okay, now we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do 2 more double crochets in the same stitch, or chain I should say. Not on stitches yet. Okay, I'm gonna pull some yarn out here. Okay, so that's 3 double crochets in that chain, and now I'm going to do my last one. Okay, and then that's what that looks like. So what you're going to do is you're going to repeat this pattern across the row. You're going to skip 3 chains, and then in that 4th chain you're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 more double crochets. So we're going to repeat that across the row until the last 2 chains that are in the row. So I'll meet you back here at the end of this row 1 for the last 2 chains so that we can finish that up. Okay, so I'm here at the end of row 1. I have the last 2 chains that we're going to work through here, but I just wanted to show you. Again, I only have a small sample here. Let me zoom out so you can kind of see what it looks like total. So this is what it's going to look like. You're just going to repeat, like I said, skipping the 3 chains and then doing your 2 double crochets, 1 chain, 2 double crochets in the same stitch. So we'll continue that across the row. So now I'm going to zoom back in here. All right, so now for the last 2 chains here, what we're going to do is we're going to skip this chain. So you'll see you have that your sequence you just did. Skip this chain next to it, and then in this last chain here, you're just going to do 1 double crochet. Okay, so that will finish off row 1 then. So that's what that looks like. Okay. So now we're going to go to row 2, and row 2 is, like I said, that's the repeat pattern for the rest of the stitch here. Is just a repeating of row 2. So it's super easy once you get the hang of it. So first we're going to turn our work, and now we're going to chain 3 first. So 1, 2, and 3. And now what we're going to do is we're going to actually skip the first 3 double crochets here. So this is the first one, so skip this one, skip this one, and skip this one. And then you'll see here we get to the chain 1 space that we did from the row below. That's actually where we're going to do our 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. So let's go ahead and do that. So go into the chain 1 space here, which is a nice big space. We're going to do 2 double crochets first. Okay, and now we're going to chain 1, and now we're going to do 2 more double crochets into that same chain 1 space. Okay, so that's what that looks like. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to skip 4 double crochets. So we're going to skip this one next to where we just worked, this one here, this one, and this one. So then you'll see we come back up to the next chain 1 space. So this, like I said, it's super easy once you get a hold of it. You're always going to just be doing your 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 double crochets in the chain 1 space, and then you're going to be skipping the stitches in between. So like I said, once you get the hang of it, it is really easy. Oh, my yarn's pulling out here. Hang on just a minute. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're skipping 4. Like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4. Chain 1 space, this is the next one. So we're going to do 2 double crochets. We're going to chain 1 and do 2 more double crochets. Okay, so that's that. And now we're going to skip 4. So skip 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again, we're back. Oops, sorry, but not on the camera there. Skip 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're back at this chain 1 space. So we're going to do 2 double crochets. Chain 1, and then 2 more double crochets. So you're just going to be repeating that pattern across the row until you get to the last. And hang on, my yarn is getting tangled here as I'm pulling it out. Gotta work through a knot here. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is repeat that pattern to the last 2 double crochets. So 1, we're going to finish that up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, skipping. Here's the next chain 1 space, 2 double crochets. And then I'm getting to my end here for me. So I'm going to show you how to end this row. Okay. So now what you're going to do is you're going to see you have 2 double crochet stitches here. You're going to skip these 2 double crochet stitches, and you'll see you have your turning chain here. It's basically your chain 3 sequence. You are going to actually be doing a double crochet into that turning chain. So skipping these 2 double crochets, and in the top of this turning chain, that's where we want to do our double crochet. Okay, and give me a second here. Oops. Sometimes they're a little bit tighter for me. There we go. Okay. Okay, so that completes row 2. Hang on a minute. I'm just going to zoom out so you can see it. Okay, so that completes row 2. Like I said, you're going to repeat row 2 for the length, or yes, the length of the pattern that you want, or the blanket that you want. So like I said, super easy. Once you get going, this does kind of even itself out. It's just as you get started, it kind of bunches up a little bit. But I found as I worked more and more rows of this, it really balanced everything out. And actually, this is one of the stitches I did not have to block my blanket with. It stayed in its shape. It turned out really nicely. So I was really happy with that as well.